Because of the dust collector, clamp, manual, tool. This is the professional stand with these mounting brackets. I think some or one of the other DeWalt stands does not come with the mounting brackets. Hardware bag. 2 mounting brackets to mount the miter saw to. Okay, here's the hardware. Comes 2 of these and 2 of these. To clip this on, it's got a handle on the back here. This is this handle, but it's kind of a dual action handle. You got to squeeze. If you can see here, it's got a portion that'll spring load in and go down. So it's kind of got a dual action going on. Out here goes with the stand. So what you do is you put this front end on first, squeeze both, put it down on and let go, and then it's on there good and solid. To take it off, you can't merely just pull the trigger. It won't do enough. You have to pull both switch and trigger, and then you can come up. To put this on, come down here on the end, and this is really nice. I like this part. It's got this switch here that locks these arms in place. Lock that and then it doesn't move. So to install this, you can see on the bottom that it's got kind of a wing nut looking thing that slides right into that gap there. And this can be brought down to the very end. You take these mounting brackets and you bolt them to the bottom of your miter saw. So to make it easier, I put some blocks down here and I'm going to lift. One of my favorite things, the work light. The work light is actually, it's awesome. It's actually mounted up there. Dual bevel. Hard to tell in there, but that's 60 degrees. There we go. 60 degrees one way. $50. Now it's just kind of free play. It's not clicking into any of these notches because this tab is up. So you can just kind of lock it with this lever, whatever infinite adjustment you want here in terms of those notches. You don't have to lock into them. If you want those, you can put that down, then you just push the thumb lever and it'll find the next notch. See how far these arms extend. 12.5 feet. The switch for the light is on top of the saw, right there. One nice feature of the light is that it casts a shadow and creates a nice reference point. that you can trace back. You'll want to verify that this is accurate, the dial representing the degrees. There's notches here in this plate, and you can tell below that the notch underneath is wider than the actual notch in the plate. These screws can be loosened and this plate can be slid back and forth. So you definitely want to check this, because mine was off slightly. And you test this by putting your square up there and holding it up against the blade. And I recommend, as you do this, that you slide the blade all the way back. That's where it's easiest to tell whether it's square or not. And if it rides against your square the whole time perfectly, then it's good. If not, then you want to loosen these screws and just tap this base over with it locked into place, that is. So you can press this thumb lever down to release it, and then you can turn it, but once it locks into place, then you can kind of use this to tap on and slide it until your blade is right perpendicular or parallel with your square. Okay, I've got several cuts in on this saw so far, and I wanted to point out some of the practical usage. And so far everything's fine, except this dust collector is a joke. You would have to hook it up to a vacuum for it to be any kind of effective. It's got a pipe or a tube that runs back to the dust collector bag, and that tube gets clogged almost immediately. Right now this bag is not even full. There's some sawdust in it, but it's nowhere near full, so it's getting clogged inside this. It's over a foot long, it looks like, that tube. Gets immediately clogged and just packed full of sawdust, and so the sawdust just ends up blowing down all over here. So you'd have to hook it up to a vacuum for it to be effective.